Hey, it's Friday morning, day after Proceed, which is always very energizing for us. I want to thank everybody that came yesterday. We had a nice donation for Hands Across the Water, so far 3,440 baht, and I'm hoping that the Proceed community will allow us to match that. So, nice way to start the day. We're on our monthly podcast. I am Mike, and with me is Channing. Channing, tell our lovely audience who you are.
I am Shannon. Well, you can call me Thomas. Marketing. I'm doing marketing here with Mike. And today we're going to be doing B2B Excellence Podcast episode 4, reviewing a few different websites. Let's see how much time we've got in our hands.
Yeah. So basically, the concept of today's show is really simple. There's a bunch of websites that we've been looking at for various reasons. Some are our own clients, some are people we hope will be our clients. And we will show what their current website looks like and an idea of what their new homepage could look like. I think that as a rule, overall, the concept for these, the theme that runs through all of them is quite similar. An important part of this is, especially for larger clients like the ones that we're going to show today, a major website revamp can often be a very painful process. It takes a lot of stakeholders that need to agree. There's a lot of content that needs to be rewritten. And so these projects, unfortunately, even with the best of intentions, they can drag out for an extended amount of time. It can be a year. Sucks, but that's the way it is. Ideally, a project like that would maybe take 2 months, 3 months, but they get extended. So there's a quick win to be had by just revamping the homepage. So especially if your website is based on something like WordPress, where there's a content management system that's dynamic and you can change content very quickly, you could just redo your homepage, do slight adaptations to your homepage, improve your homepage, because there's a lot to be won out of that operation. First of all, to be honest, depending on your website, but it's likely that 70 to 90% of your traffic to your website is only ever going to come to the homepage. So there's really no need to dedicate endless months of effort and frustration in building up a whole bunch of other pages or revamping a whole bunch of other pages, because the vast majority of people are never going to see them. And then second of all, I know that it's contrary to the tradition or to the way that larger organizations act, but there's a huge amount of value in agility, especially with uncertainties in the market today. You take your homepage, you dedicate 3 weeks, is probably what it would take to do a decent, nice homepage revamp. So 3 weeks compared to, say, worst side of things, a year, best side of things, 3 months. And you can have a homepage that you refresh every quarter. And the cost of that isn't very high, compared to rebuilding the whole website. The cost is a fraction. So there's a lot of value in doing these, I call them seasonal homepage adaptations. Could be towards something like an exhibition, can be to celebrate a new line of products, can be to celebrate a new facility that you're bringing up, and can be, frankly, for no reason whatsoever than the fact that it's the internet and people expect things to change quite,
Every so often.
Yeah, every so often. I mean, we all experience this. We're all looking at the feed, and if nothing's changed, we're bored, so we don't come back to that feed. So let's look at the project with that mindset, and I think we'll just go alphabetically. Is Nam ready to join us, you think, yet? Let's see.
Give her a message.
I'll open up the first of the sites that we were talking about. Maybe we can start talking about their background. Alrighty, ACIE. Here we go. Okay.
Yes, I think she's ready. Joining any minute now.
Okay, good. We can start talking about ACIE and Nam can join us. I need to share my screen, right?
Yes, that's right.
Alrighty. So I think we're good. Not yet. Why are we not yet seeing the screen? Oh, an error has occurred. Cut screen. This is doing it. Just having an error. Okay.
Slight technical error.
Yeah, it's not even on our side. It's on Google Meet's side of things. There we go. Okay, cool. All right. So this is Asia Clean Industrial Estate. Just for background, this is a company that runs 18 power plants in Thailand, and they have some industrial estate that they're planning. It's a future development, hence the rendering here at the top. This is their current homepage as we scan through. Just as we run through this quickly, we can talk about, hey Nam, how are you?
Hi.
Hi. So maybe just introduce yourself for one moment for everybody that's watching this, and we'll fill you in on the details.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Nam. I work at Vimi as a senior UX UI designer.
Fantastic. So today we were going to look at a few of the websites that we've been poking around with in the studio over the past month and just show how the current website and the mock that we're proposing are slightly different, and what are the advantages for a company for doing a refresh of their homepage maybe once every quarter. We're going alphabetically through the examples, so we're starting with Asia Clean Industrial Estate. This is their current website with this nice rendering at the top, and then they have a call to action to view these two bits of content. Then there's some about us, a click to see a plan, blah, 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 going on. Let's talk about what are the challenges of this website. So first and foremost, if you come to this website on a mobile, this video doesn't work. And so you're just encountering a black space. And actually maybe you mock that up, show that here. Not sure it's gonna work. Yeah, no. In this rendering, we're fine. But there's no indication of where I am, so I've got no context for what I'm seeing, and there's no call to action. So basically, I come to this blank screen where I'm seeing a video, but I have no context for what this video is. And then when I scroll down a little bit, then I've got two calls to action over here. One of them actually is incorrect. So virtual tour doesn't lead me to a virtual tour. It takes me to the contact us, which is the bug. And then watch video, I'm watching the video already, so not really clear what the value of that is. Not only that, it bounced me out of the site and took me to a new tab. It took me out to YouTube. So now the customer has lost, ACIE have lost the visitor to their website. They basically screwed themselves out of a website visit. Let's see if I can go back here.
And we know this because we have an analytics tool that helps analyze the website, so we can see how much viewers has dropped after the first full.
Exactly. Let's share the screen again. Share tab. Okay, so go back to seeing their site. Going down further, there's this click the master plot layout, something to see details, but actually I don't really see how that's working. It doesn't feel like it's doing anything. Oh, okay, there's something here. But when I click over here, I got to scroll up here to see that. So there's this interactivity here, but it's actually not really, doesn't really provide me any real value. And it's quite annoying to use. So I disengage. I can see a plot photo, supposedly, but I can't. See plot plan. Something here which I guess is a download. And that failed. So it doesn't work. Something is broken. Then they have this section with the infrastructure and facilities. This one's really strange because actually these are the primary things that they sell. This is, if you're an industrial estate, this is what you are selling. You're selling infrastructure and these are all the benefits of using you, but they've hidden it all inside these drop downs. And we know that people normally don't click on these drop downs. So there's a lot of information here, but actually it's inaccessible and people don't see it. Then there's this map, which has some overlay issue with it. And furthermore, the map is in Thai. Most of the audience that's expected to be using this website are actually companies coming into Thailand. So you'd expect this to be more foreigner friendly. Blog's okay. And contact us, please snap stuff at the bottom. All right, let's see what we proposed for ACIE and maybe bounce back a little bit with now and see why we did that. I'll find the Figma file. Great. Download.
So Nam is our star. She helped us design, and she's gonna help walk us through what we did.
Let's see if we can play on this and share the tab. That's the one thing I don't like about Figma, is it's a bit slow. Okie dokie. I'm going to share that tab now. Alrighty. So, you want to talk a little bit about this one, or you want to chat about it? What we changed and how and why?
Yes, sure. All right. As Mike mentioned, for the HD Clean previous site, as you can see, the site that we proposed, the new version, here we add the call to action at the very top of the screen. So in the first float, like when you land into the website, you already can see what you can do with this section. It is to chat with the expert. And also we had like a face person to know that the person that you're talking to is the real person, not just the bot, not the chatbot. Okay, and here we still have the virtual tour and watch video. All right, scroll down, and
Wait,
here we also add the.
Before we scroll down, I want to highlight a couple more things over here, which is in the existing site there is no label that explains where I am. This basic thing of just saying this is the Asia Clean Industrial Estate in Chonburi is missing. And furthermore, I think that there's far more credibility when you're showing a picture. Let's remember that this is a company that runs and operates 18 power stations. It's not like they have a lack of industrial imagery to display that they are experts in their field, that that they haven't been around for 5 minutes, that they have a long and credible history that you can rely on. And so that, to me, that speaks much more credibility than this random sequence of rendered animation, which has no context.
Yep.
Right. Please continue, Ms. Nam.
Mike, can you click the cookie first, the accept all cookie, so it's all goes right?
Yes, I can. Sorry.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so next we also add the client's logo.
Also
Yeah,
credibility
for
play,
the
right?
yes. And we decide to bring the about us to the very top of the page, so at least they have a space to talk about who they are and why company should trust them to build the company, the factory on their land. So the next section is our service. If you remember from the current site, all of the service is hidden inside
those carrots, those drop downs.
Yeah. So I propose a new design so that it's be able to scroll. Yeah, left and right. This is just the prototype, so you can only scroll like just.
The advantage of this is the advantage of your design is that the first carrot is presented open. And so you have this indication that, oh, I can do this thing, I can go back and forth, and then this content changes. So it's a nice way to display, much nicer, much more elegant way to display that content paradigm.
Mhm. Yeah. Also, here is another coloration box. We always have this coloration in the middle of the page in most of the design, so that on the halfway through that user scroll through the website, they still can chat with the expert if they decide to use the service.
I would say that, in that respect, web design is a little bit like being the parent of a toddler, right? You want them to do something, you have to repeat it many times. Repeat. Eventually the message gets through. Here we have
this is the location with the map beside. So you can click to see each location that close to the Asia Clean land.
We didn't make that interactivity into the mock though on this one, right? It's the same.
Yes. There is the white arrow to indicate that this is the lab Chabang.
The active one. Cool. And the map of the whole region, again with the call to action.
Yes, and this is the compare location. So you see like a big picture, like this. In case it's hard to read, it's hard to see like the map. Then like the approximately. And here is the subscription newsletter pop up.
So actually, we integrated their script for running the plot view much lower down on the page. I think it's good content, but I think where they were presenting it on their existing site was inappropriate because you had no context. I'm looking at a plot. Why am I looking at a plot? What is this plot? How, who are you guys? Plot. The fuck, there has to be some preliminary explanation before we're talking about the plots. You got to slowly zoom into it. And then, the blog and
contact us, CTA.
Nice contact, yeah. So I think the point here is this isn't a revolution on their existing design, but it's a very nice evolution on their existing design. And you don't have to change the rest of the website. You just change the homepage and you're done. You've effectively taken care of 90% of the problems that you have with your online engagement. Who's next on our list? Going alphabetically? Just a moment, let's see. Oops. Citron. Let's do Citron. Do you want to do Citron or do you want to do Rita? Which do you prefer? You want to do Citron or Rita? Nam?
I think Citron have more to explain.
Okay, great. Let's do Citron then. And we got to open up the existing site.
Or we do Rita first.
Too late. I've already opened up Citron.
So that's it in the same.
You had your chance. Now we are going to live with the consequences of that choice.
People always have second chance.
You want a second chance? Fine. Wow, you really milked that one. You want a second chance? You want Rita that bad? Because I just finished opening up the Citron.
All right.
Okay. So let's look at Citron. Got to share a screen. Blah blah blah. 1 moment. Okay. So when you come on the Citron website, right, this is your first experience. not the best. Let's start getting rid of stuff. Push that away, that away. We have this thing. So you want to talk about this a little bit? Shall we move it to English? Let's move it to English. Okay, so first of all, you move to English, and yet there's a refresh, but the banner that I get is Thai.
Yeah.
Right, so, and we have this banner at the top.
Still a bit of Thai. Still Thai.
Where Thai? Oh yeah, that's all Thai. Okay. So let's talk. Nam, do you want to talk about the issues? Do you want me to talk about the issues, or how do you want to run this?
You talk about the issue at how quality design.
Okay. For me, the issues here are, first of all, as you were saying, Shannon, this discrepancy between lack of understanding between the fact that I've now moved to a different language, and so I've explicitly expressed a desire to see the language that I'm comfortable with, and yet you're not respecting that as a website.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, there's a sequence of 10 banners here at the top, roughly 10 banners, and banners like that are a horrible interaction mechanism for multiple reasons. Let's talk about the hard limits of human cognition. Okay, so short-term human memory, what's known as working memory, okay, what we use in order to have this conversation. The reason that you and I can converse is because from one sentence to the next, the moment I start speaking this sentence until the moment I finish it, that thought is kept in my working memory, right? And I can process it. But while I'm doing that, it's impossible for me to do anything else except the basic biological functions that keep me alive. We all have this experience, right? When you're talking to one person, you can't magically now also solve math problems, listen to Mozart, and drive a car. You could try, but you're probably going to end up with an accident, right?
Yes.
Great. So the hard limit of working memory is between, depending what study you go by, between 4 and 7 items. Okay, so if you're a fighter pilot, you're at the extreme edge of human capability, you're probably around the 7 items. If you're a normal mortal like us, you can probably do around maybe 5. And if you're a younger person or slightly disabled mentally, then maybe you're on the 4, 3, whatever scale. Okay. When you have 10 banners like this, by the time you're on the 3rd banner, you have no idea. You don't know anymore what was on the 1st banner. You can't. Okay? It's gone. It doesn't exist for your cognition anymore. So there's this information that's being lobbed at me, but I can't retain any of it, or I can retain very little of it. Number one. Number two, it's also very distracting. I want to read this. Now, maybe I'm a faster reader, maybe I'm a slower reader, but by the time I'm reading through it, I'm now here. Oh crap, now I gotta start playing around like this to see the content. Super annoying. Furthermore, by the time I'm now, let's say I'm done with this banner, right? Now I'm moving on, okay? Now I want to concentrate on this. Let's wait for a second. I'm trying to concentrate on this, but because there's movement on top and because the human eye is naturally drawn to movement, every time the banner flips, my eyes do this thing. So it's also annoying. So really there's very few justifications for having this kind of banner. The places where you do see it is places where it's either telling a story, going from one to the other, or when it's offering, you'll see it on large e-commerce websites, where you're basically offering a few different promotions, and you don't really care when the customer clicks because you're just trying to sell. So it doesn't matter at what point the customer is going to start transacting. Maybe they're into cosmetics today, maybe they're into, it's usually FMCG type websites, so large malls. oh, maybe today I'm FMCG, maybe I'm today gadgets, maybe I'm today, I don't know, fashion. Makes sense to show me a whole bunch of offers. And even there, if you scroll through the website, right, you'll see the categories later repeated as you do the first scroll, which is what we propose for this, right? We propose for this that you do a scroll. I think that's it. Like the rest of the site is just not very interesting. It's not very exciting. It's just.
So you have to ask the question, why are we showing this? There's 10 banners, why are we showing each specific banner, 10 of them? We don't need to show all 10 of them. We can even just show, what's the strategy behind it?
Honestly, if you're screwed with a website like this and you don't have time to make changes, I'd absolutely reduce the banners from 10 to 3, and then at least you have retention. There's no way that the human being can retain 10 banners. It's physically impossible. Okay, I think we've ranted enough about the banners. Let's go on to the design and let Nan talk us through that. I think I just close that tab by mistake. Righty, coming back now. Hit the play button. That's coming. Right, Ms. Nam. Huh?
Yes.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah. Sorry.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So for the design, so first we use the image that really mean that meaningful of what travel should make me feel like. So we choose this lady and we choose foreigner. So the
I think what you're trying to, we selected an image that was aspirational, gave a feeling, told a story, and leveraged familiarity bias, because rather than showing a ship that nobody can connect with, we're now showing, assuming that this is a ferry that's going to holiday vacation islands, we're showing somebody that is potentially the audience or that we'd all like to be next to on a ferry.
Yes. And the next section is the booking section. So here we decide the option to as less as possible, so user doesn't have to do many clicks before they get to choose the boarding time. So here we have only just I think 3 clicks, like you choose round trip or one single trip
way.
And then you just click your destination and your travel date and the passenger. Okay, the next section is the map. So actually this is just the image map.
This is static content, right?
Yeah, it's static content, but it's enough to show you the information that you need to know, like how many ports that we have. Sorry, how many routes that we have.
Yeah. That's some credibility logo,
and also
clients.
Yeah. Yes.
It's blog section.
And this is just popular route that people always book.
These are the membership
this
cards,
is yeah. And here we have a section to
push their socials, right?
Put there for user to download, to be friend on the Line app.
For those of us who are not from Thailand, Line is a huge local super app. And basically, customers can transact entirely within everything they want with Sichuan Ferry via that app. And that's it. That's the end of the homepage. So actually, much cleaner, much simpler design, much more professional. I think also pleasanter on the eye. It's a good reference. Right. We're meeting Citron later this week. Let's see how they feel about it. Let's talk about how are we for time?
10:30.
10:30 now already.
Yeah.
Then I think we're good for the day. We do two, and keep the rest for another time. Nam, thank you very much for participating.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thomas, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
For all of you who are listening to us, thank you very much for joining us. And we'll be here. When's our next one? 21st, no? 21st of July, I believe.
Yes, 21st of June.
21st of July. Always the day after Proceed. See y'all.
Bye.